Okay folks, this one's a colourful one. And let's see if we can make this turn up a treat. Be a bit of a challenge, but hey, most of the work I do here is challenging, so I've got to challenge myself, push the envelope, so to speak, to make better demos. So just going to maybe switch to that. Oh, fuck. This user interface is a fucking pain due to Konica Minolta's money fucking dumbass, useless design. I have no respect for them. Company, fucktards. Look at that name and fucking get angry, dickheads. Money fuckers. Can't make anything decent anymore. Nothing new, all the same, boring. Anyway, what do we got? We got here a jumpsuit. Looks like a jumpsuit, I do think. It's got pants, it's got leggings, so it's a jumpsuit. We're interested, I think. I was thinking the back, but the back's got the seam, so we're going to do the front of it. An interesting sort of pattern we have here. So we're going to do the front of it. That'll be easier, simpler. The back isn't what I wanted it to be. It has the seam, so I'm just going to use my camera hand to hold this. These legs have got to come up so they don't slide off the glass, so the whole thing doesn't slide off. I'm just trying to flatten it nicely. I'm really missing a loved one, folks. Trying to get this work I'm doing here onto the television, onto the primetime news. Trying to get my work out there. It's not as easy as it looks. It really is difficult. Very time consuming and money. It doesn't make money for me. It takes money. It costs. I'm not rich. I'm not a rich person, folks. So trying to produce this stuff on a shoestring. Okay, that looks interesting, except we've got a rumple. We didn't want that. That looks like it's in a good position, but we've got to get rid of that horrible rumple in the top there. I think it's just there, just where my fingers are, so I'm just moving it up a bit and I'm just trying to get the shitter nice and flat as we can. It's not easy trying to flatten this. I think it's not flat. I just can't seem to get it to go flat. I really miss my partner and I'm trying my best to make something of this. Now that looks interesting. We can just see a little bit of the rumple, but it's not significant. Wondering if we're going to make this into a movement piece or a still piece. That's a hard one. There's a bit of a void there as well. I'm not sure what to do with it, folks. I'm going to maybe make it a movement piece. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to move it around. But I really miss my partner, Luigi. I'm trying to get this stuff on air. However, nearly impossible it seems. All the negative news takes up much of the space, like death, disease, disaster, destruction, murder, house fires, stabbings. You know the stuff, folks. The stuff that we are all, as a human race, tired of hearing about, but at the same time, we can't avoid it because the news channels seem to think people want to watch that sort of content when that sort of content is really old hat. It's really been going on for too long, and we need something new in its place. They seem to think people want to hear about these things and see all this carnage, and also even COVID gets sickly. You know, COVID, we need to know something of it, but we don't need to know everything. I'm wondering where the centre of the job is going to be. I'm not sure whether I'm going to go there or there. I'm actually thinking it's going to be there. But basically it just gets a bit wearing when you hear that sort of content becoming like a staple. It's actually a staple. It's a real... People just seem to use... News channels seem to use that stuff as a go-to to have enough in the bulletin to make... I don't understand why they do have some positive content, I must say, but they normally save it for later so that people can watch the shit first. That's how it seems. And it really gets to me, and I'm just sick of it. It just provokes my rage. I'm trying to get my stuff out there, you know. My stuff is... I see it as something legit, something useful. You know, I know it looks a bit silly, it sounds a bit silly. I know it doesn't seem to be all that newsworthy. I actually think this could be a case for a switcheroo here. I'm just wondering if I'm going to just run with it. We're just going to run with it. I think we can have a switcheroo with this. But I really miss Luigi, and as long as this shit takes precedent over my shit, I'm never going to get there. And it's also the big ticket items, like I've complained about in recent months, like COVID-19, for example. That's an example of a big ticket that can also take up space. But I just hate all those little ones that I just mentioned, because they just seem to be there, you know, filling in. So if there's not, even if COVID-19 isn't trending or isn't on the news, well, they'll always fill it up with other kinds of fuck. And, you know, and it just gets to me. And I'm a talented person. I want to be recognised. I have disabilities that prevent me from working in a normal employment, and I really hate it, and I really wish I could just be recognised for what I'm good at rather than what I can't do. And it's really difficult when the TV channels don't see it. You know, they don't fucking see someone wanting to get recognised, someone wanting to get in touch with a loved one, which is the main drive behind why I do these videos, trying to get in touch with a loved one. His name's Luigi, and he loves photocopiers as well. And that looks really quite nice. I think we could do a switcheroo. Like I said, we're going to do a switcheroo. We're going to use that as the centre and see if it's any better or any worse or no difference, pretty much. Let's see how we go. But I really miss this person. His name is Luigi, and I don't see a life on my own. I can't live on my own with the disabilities I've got. You know, they're getting worse, like my memory. It's mainly to do with my memory, and my memory is getting a lot worse over time. So I just can't keep living alone. I'll probably fuck something up with my memory problems. Anyway, I think that looks probably even better, perhaps. I think now we can call this demo quits.